Well, thanks for coming back. The OG of OGs,
Yes,
dude. Rest in peace. In this room, it was just you and I together against the world.
Yeah, that's where it all
Dazed
started.
and abused. Started off with some smelling salts, bud. Yes! Yes. Get back in the groove, dude. Oh, man. So what's been going on, dude?
Oh, man, just school, work, the gym. I mean, living life, the kids, being in love, all that nonsense life's about.
Just life, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Dude, I want a real fucking answer. None of that plus 20 bullshit.
it.
What's going to happen on Sunday with the Chiefs?
Oh, dude.
You're a big football guy. You know a lot of football. I want to know what you actually think. Give me like a breakdown. I think the Chiefs will win it, but
All right.
I want to know what scares you.
Nothing. Chiefs by 20.
Oh, you fucking rat, man.
Nah, man, for real, dude, I think we need to. This is going to be a big defense game. Whoever's defense can shut down the other team's running game, I feel like that's going to be the key here.
You think we'll have Pacheco carrying a lot again? I mean,
I would hope so. I mean, because if we're not using the run, then we can't really set up a play action. Nobody's going to fall for the run whenever you run a play action if you're not running the ball. And in years past, we haven't had a good running team, really. We've never been really known as a big running team. And so now that we have a solid running back, let's lean on him a little bit, give our $500 million quarterback a break. And, we've been doing it semi-well this year. We've had a pretty good rushing season. And
we've had a great rushing season.
Yeah,
Pacheco is a fucking monster.
Dude, I love it. He seeing him run is like, it's very motivating. The way he pops right back up, but fucking sprints back to the sideline of the huddle, and he's ready to go, bro. It's so tight.
So you like the way he runs?
His effort.
I love it too.
Yeah, his effort's crazy. It's amazing to watch somebody put that much effort in every single play.
Nonstop. It's amazing. It's so fun to watch, and I have a buddy, shout out Willie, and he can't stand the way he runs.
Really?
He's like, I hate that guy.
Because
he runs so hard.
He's like he does look kind of crazy when he does it, but he owns it. It looks tight.
Right, and he fucking is productive with that
Yeah,
game.
exactly. I can't hate on him.
So, yeah, I'm like, how can you not like that? It's fun to watch. It's unique, and he is definitely productive.
Absolutely. Bro, but, I mean, biggest thing, I think we need to shut down Christian McCaffrey because I'm not even tripping on Brock Purdy. I mean, even just this last week, he's running all over the field. He's dealing okay with
Purdy?
Yeah.
He did run a lot more, I feel like, in that game against Lions than he had ever had.
Yeah. And so, so he performed all right against the blitz and all that, but I just think if he is going to get sacked by our team. And if he's on the run all night, our coverage is way too good for him to be completing throws. So I just don't see. I see it being more like a game against the Ravens. It'll be warmer.
I don't see them completing a lot of early passes. And I'll tell you this much. If we get that first half 49ers, that shit's not happening in the second half with the Kansas City Chiefs and Spagnuolo.
No, dude.
So if they don't start, let's go Spags. You remember not too long ago, everyone hated him when he was rebuilding the defense.
Dude, I do remember all my friends.
People
and
were like calling
all
for his head, dude.
Yeah, they're all.
Now we're like Team Spags.
Yeah, I won't lie. I at the time I didn't know much about defense. I mean, I've played defense my whole life, but I just don't pay attention to college very much. It's just not my thing. So each year when we're getting new players and shit, I don't know. I just don't keep up with it as much. But this year was perfect because I got into a dynasty league and we were drafting rookies and all that, and so I had to focus on it, and I just happened to have gotten Trent McDuffie or whatever. Which might have even been last year, but I don't know. In this last 2 years, I've been really familiarizing myself with the defensive players and stuff. So it's kind of funny to see all my friends though turn on Spags from hating him to loving him, and I'm like, dude, I'm with it. Whatever, let's get it.
Well, and he's world renowned, dude. Every time the Chiefs play, they mention it 5 or 6 times. Spagnuolo and the incredible Chiefs defense.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's why I find it hard to hate on a coach or an expert or a player just because it's like, well, no matter how much I know football, they are competing at a much higher level than I've ever been at. So how can I can make my own opinion and all that, but I don't like to hate on people or coaches like in players because I'm like, dude, you're way better than me.
It's so funny because I don't, in MMA, I'm like that. I have that mindset, but I'm such a trash bag, regular type sports fan. Like if I'm watching any NBA or NFL game, I'm like, what are these pieces of shits doing, you know?
Right.
Even though I can't even I couldn't hit 1 of 10 free throws.
For sure, bro.
Yeah, I can't throw a ball. I can't catch. I've got no hand-eye coordination, but I'll be the first dude to be like, we got to fire Andy Reid. You know?
Stop. Don't
But
ever joke about that.
I have that same mindset with MMA where I'm like, I don't care if the guy loses the fight, looks horrible. I'm like, man, that good on him for getting out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the Chiefs because we were just 2 years ago, we were a completely different team, up in the air, huge dynamics.
High flying, yeah.
You know, remember when we had DeMarcus Robinson and he was always good for one, like 60
crazy
plus
play.
yard every game,
Just
a
one
deep
crazy
ball.
play, dude,
and he'd always catch it.
Yeah, he was tight. I feel like he was just too small of a frame, or we just had, no offense, but we had more fitting skill players at the time.
Isn't it? Where's he play now? I thought he was on the Ravens for a second.
I think he is on the Ravens.
Did he play in that game?
I don't think I saw him. Maybe he got a couple of reps, but I don't think he didn't make. He definitely didn't make no big plays. He might have had a catch or something, but I don't think he was really. He might even be injured right now.
I don't think Deebo Samuel's gonna be able to get any of that jet sweep stuff off against us.
No, man. If Tyreek's not going nowhere, Deebo's not going nowhere.
Right. That was a good sign that we got that shit locked down.
We've had some problems. Our defense has had some problems against the run. Christian McCaffrey is easily a top 5 running back, top 3 running back in the NFL.
How about maybe top 1?
Yeah, well, I think Pacheco
almost
is the top
undisputable.
1, so.
I mean, I think Pacheco might be the best in the league eventually, but
yeah. CMC is
I think right now, I think it's tough to say McCaffrey's not the number 1 running back in the whole league.
Dude, he's such an animal. I love.
But his catch threat too.
Dude, yeah, that's what makes him so dangerous. He just anywhere on the field, like whoop.
Every game, he's at like 14 carries plus and like 10 catches.
Yeah,
not 10, but 5 or so.
100 yards on each.
Yeah, he gets 70 yards running, 70 catching every fucking game.
Yeah, he's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. I think we're gonna shut him down. I imagine probably like a 24-14 game, Chiefs.
I think that Spagnuolo, he's gonna identify the run, and we have good enough players that it's gonna look bad if they don't stop the run, so they're gonna be trying hard. Yeah. And that's gonna be tough. Looking at the game, the NFC Championship, though, I think it would be easier to stop the run and deal with that than that first half Lions.
Right.
The way those guys can move the ball downfield. I'm actually kind of glad we're playing the 49ers.
Dude.
Not for excitement level, the Lions would be sweet, but as far as like to win, I'm kind of glad.
I would rather play the Niners than the Lions.
Would you have rather played the Lions?
No, dude, they already whooped us.
They didn't whoop us, but they fucking can move it down the field so quick. And they have 2 amazing running backs that can both catch and run.
Yeah, their running backs are crazy. Dude, their team's crazy. I love the Lions. They've always been like a team you kind of root for in the background because they've never been great. And I used to like Calvin Johnson and all that. So, I used to be like a low-key Lions fan. But I did want to play them just for because they were our first loss on the season, first game of the season. And it was just kind of like, kind of scared everybody. And it would be nice to get that win back. But you know what? I would have rather played the Niners, and I think we're ready for them. I just don't think Brock Purdy is made of the same material that Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are.
It's funny you say that, back to my ignorant thoughts. As soon as I saw them standing up against each other on the podium for the pre-Super Bowl stuff, I was like, look at this kid.
Yeah.
There's not a chance in hell this kid's beating Patrick fucking Mahomes. This kid's a fucking kid.
No,
he's a baby, and there's no fucking way.
Dude, hashtag 20-0. I've told you guys since the beginning. I've told you for years. Hashtag 20-0. It's coming, baby.
Well, I told people, I said, I think it's going to be one of those random walk-in Super Bowls. The Patriots did it a bunch of years.
Yeah.
Tom Brady did it with the Bucks, like where it's just like he just knows he's going to make the playoffs, so he plays good but not great. The team's playing okay. Sometimes they play really good games, but they have like a fucking 50-50 record, and then that they're going to make it in because they win the division.
And it's just like, it's just.
And
like,
then walk-in Super Bowl. The Super Bowl looked easy to him on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
And that's what I told people. I feel like
tie it together.
Yeah, I think we were getting one of those, like I'm a big odds guy, and the fact that we didn't put it together for 18 games, 17 games,
Right.
I'm like, well, we're for sure going to put it up together for the next 3 then, statistically.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I still don't think we've put it all together yet. Like, I think MVS with his confidence back this week.
Oh, for sure. I think
that's
we're riding high, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We're riding on like a very high win recently.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is really riding high, and the other thing is we've been here,
Yeah, which is a huge factor.
Yeah, there's not a lot of players on the Niners that have been to the Super Bowl. Who has? Kittle? Who else?
Well, there's a lot of that team that was there 2 years ago.
Whenever we played them?
Mm-hmm.
Was that 3 years ago?
3 years, I think, actually.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I thought that they have a pretty new team right now. I think there's only 4 or 5 players from that Super Bowl that we played.
Maybe, but some of the big players are there, like
for sure, like Kittle.
Yeah,
and then I think one of their.
What about Boza?
Yeah, Boza.
Yeah,
and then one of their offensive linemen.
I'm sure. I mean, and their coaches, Shanahan's fucking incredible.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But no, I just think all around we're a better team. We have a way better defense, and our offense is. I mean, I would take our offense over theirs any day.
Yeah.
So.
I think our offense, too, has never been challenged in the sense where we're, like, down and out. I mean, we just played so stupid. A lot of those games where we had chances with comeback touchdown drives, we wouldn't even get down the field. We would be 3 and out, 4 and out immediately. And so.
I mean, and you can do this all day with any team. We could have been 20-0 because of this or this or this, but. I mean, just in the terms of the Chiefs, let's just talk about the drops. I mean, like,
insane.
We could have won like 4 games just off of drops alone. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Who were we playing pretty late in the season? That was a big game. Maybe Buffalo, where Watson had like 3 right through his hands.
Yeah.
Was that the first? Did we play Buffalo twice this year? I think we played them earlier, but I think we played them at home.
Yeah, we beat them both times.
No, we lost to them at home this season.
We lost to the Raiders, the Broncos, Buffalo. The Raiders, yeah. We got 6 losses.
Or 7 losses. Maybe?
5.
I think we were like 11-7.
I don't know. Dude, it blurs together so much football. By the end of the season, I'm like, damn, what season was that?
But, yeah, there's a lot of those throws in those mid to late season games where I was like, man, is Mahomes is he not throwing great passes? And then they show the review, and it's the most perfect pass every time. And you're like, oh.
Right through the
hands.
Yeah, dude. I mean, even a lot of the quarterbacks, a lot of the time, make good throws. It's just crazy. Like, it's just hard to catch a ball, man. Especially whenever you got 1 or 2 or 3 people trying to defend that shit. Like, it is hard to catch it. It's hard to throw it, but.
Unless you're Travis Kelce, and then you make it look easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Greatest tight end of all time.
So, dude, I haven't talked to you since the Richie fight, really. Sat down and talked to you.
Richie Dunfield.
Richie Dunfield. Well, congratulations on that win. We won't really go into it. It was an awesome fight. Most people have seen it.
Yeah.
So, you want to go pro now?
I do.
Pro MMA?
Yeah, I think after a long amateur career, I'm just done with it. I'm ready to go pro. I'm physically ready. I'm mentally ready. My skills there. I just have to put it all together, and it's like, I don't know. I keep like trying to get ready to go pro, and versus like it's like I am, and I'm tired of getting ready whenever I know I'm ready, and so I'm ready to capitalize on that, and I'm looking to get a big fight maybe this summer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you want to be ready to go by the summer?
Yeah, I'm really hoping May, but I think summer would be best.
When do you think you'll hop back to where you'll be training? Because, I mean, people know with, like, local regional scene pro fights, you sometimes have to take those fights on a couple weeks, month notice. So you got to stay ready because there's limited opportunity, especially on the scene to take those fights. And a lot of times these pro guys want to protect their record. So if you get a fight 3 months out, then they pull out for
Right.
an injury that, you don't want to talk any shit, but you're like, we don't really know how serious that injury was. But I mean, records are big. They say they're not once you get to the UFC, that people don't care if you're a 50-50 fighter. And I don't personally, but a lot of the laymen's who only watch the big cards, they care about records.
For sure.
And so guys now want to protect their records, and I feel like I've seen a lot of pros who get last-minute opponents almost every time because someone wants to protect their record usually and pulls out for some minor injury. Which, good to them, you got to do what's best for your career. But, I mean, I guess my question was, how soon do you think you'll have to start training to where you're ready? I mean, are you wanting to take something as early as May or later in the summer?
Right now, I have some injuries that I'm taking care of, healing up. I'm trying to make sure I'm straightening my life out, and that way I can be physically, mentally, and financially ready to go pro. That way I don't have to worry about nothing. I'll be on go. I do believe that I will have all of that straightened out by May, and if not, then I'll push it back to summer or whatever. But we're ready to go. I'm just straightening everything out. As far as getting a fight, I know when all the shows are for the next 6 months or whatever, relatively in this local area, in the Kansas City area, which is where I want to have my pro debut. Born and raised here. Of course, I want to fight here my first time as a pro. Maybe like Zach Cummings my last time, something cool like that would be so like a dream. But I have a good reputation with all the promoters as far as I know, and so if I just tell them, they pretty often ask me if I want to fight, and then I either do or don't. But I think if I just drop my name in, they will do their best to find me an opponent as quick as possible, and I trust that it'll be a solid matchup.
How many times a month does a promoter try to hit you up to see if you want to fight?
Probably at least once. Like at least once per promoter.
Yeah.
Some of the more local ones that like know me better. Like I have a pretty cool relationship with Scott Cutbirth, who's a local promoter for FAC. Like he knows, he'll reach out every couple months. But we talk pretty regularly as well. Like, I do some work on his house or whatever and stuff like that. So I see him fairly often, and we have a pretty good relationship. So like he doesn't pressure me or whatever like that. But they're out there, they do, and it's kind of funny to see. I don't know. It's just kind of weird how they try to like get you in.
Yeah.
And because it's not like they go looking
at
for,
those ticket sales, dude.
Yeah. And that shit's crazy. Like, man, I'm the one selling all the fucking tickets. I know you guys got a show to put on, but like, if we're selling all the tickets, even as amateurs, bro, we should be getting all the money. Especially if you're just gonna go give them to Twin Peaks to where they can hand them off for free or whatever. And if we don't understand the reasoning behind that, then why don't you break it down for us? Because it makes nobody want to fight for free.
Right. How do you feel about the FAC platform? It seems like it's a different animal walking out on that type of stage.
It is. It's crazy.
Yeah. Is it more of like, is there some extra oomph when you get in there because of the stage that they've set with that promotion?
Yeah, I fought in a sold out crowd there, man, and it's fucking nuts. Like I fought at a big casino on a sold out night, man, and it that's a great atmosphere. Don't get me wrong. I fought in some great places, but there's just like FAC at Cable Dahmer Arena. That's exactly what it is. It's an arena. It's just, you feel like a superstar. The locker rooms are for professional hockey players or superstar singers like Scotty McCreery plays there, and he's hanging out in the locker rooms like where I'm warming up and I'm walking out, same spot he's walking out. Like big country stars, big rap stars, other big professional athletes or famous athletes, they come out of that same tunnel. And so, being in my hometown, it does, like, it feels great for me to be like,
And that it's in Independence proper.
Exactly.
It's not Kansas City, it's Independence proper,
Exactly.
you know,
So,
where you went to
yeah.
high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
born and raised, elementary, middle, and high school, all in Independence. And so, you know, I remember when they built it, and like we could go ice skating in here in like
Shout
8th
out
grade.
Dr. Silverstein for
Right.
fixing my eyes.
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
go, buddy.
Exactly, man. So I
Used to
don't
be
know.
the Silverstein Eye Center.
Yeah,
arena.
I remember that. And then what's his name? Marty Dahmer bought it, right?
Marty Dahmer.
Yeah.
Marty
He's
Schottenheim
like,
Dahmer.
He's like the 5th richest person in Kansas City or something like that. He's worth
Really?
like $150 million or something like that.
Who are the people that own all the stuff on this square? We went to high school, I think. with
yeah.
one of them. We won't mention her name if we know
yeah.
it, but what's the last name?
Man,
They own a ton of property, though. Tons of property.
man, I haven't thought about them since then, but
It'll come to me here in a minute. I'll be like, oh, they own everything in Independence, it seems like.
yeah.
So when you fought at FAC, I guess you didn't say this, but you kind of mentioned it was either go pro or retire.
Yeah.
What were you leaning against, like before going into that fight?
Dude, so I had just been training for so long, looking for like, you know, whether it's or like I had just been fighting and training for so long, so hard, and I was just so tired. But it's kind of crazy the mental effect that I had from losing a fight like 2 years ago. It was still lingering all the way up to this fight, and I have won a fight since then. Like I have fought before, I've had a whole training camp, all that, and it's been a long time. But it's just like, I don't know, I didn't have this confidence because even in the fight I had won before this last one, like I didn't feel like my performance was as good as I could perform, and so I don't know, I just felt kind of sorry for myself. But you know, through the great grace of God, old Rudy Bears, Angel Hernandez, and Ralph Hernandez, they all pushed me to take this fight that I didn't want on 3 weeks' notice and hadn't trained in a year and a half. But I was like, you know what? This dude's kind of talking shit about my team, my friends. I was like, fuck that. I'll show him, like, nobody, like, I'm not scared to fight you. I don't care who you are.
So then you go in there, and if for people who don't know, I'm not making this up. It was like real pay-per-view style vibes. They played like a preview for each of you guys first, and the crowd was going fucking nuts because the promotion who puts it on was a big fans of your opponent. You know, he comes from their gyms.
Yeah.
And it seems like he sells a fuckload of tickets because he packed the house and you packed the house.
Yeah.
And the crowd was going fucking nuts. And then you get in there, and it's a dogfight the first round, and then you come on so strong at the end of the first. You fucking are piecing them up in the second. I could see you got that 1 month fucking rust on you because you know, but you paced yourself like a fucking veteran, dude. And then you got him to the ground. Pounded him on the ground at the end of 2, right?
Yeah,
and then 3, you got him down again and fucking strangled him, dude. In your own hometown, against the odds, 1 month notice, and the crowd is going fucking berserk, and the teams are going fucking wild, and you get up on the fucking cage and flip everyone off. And then fucking Rudy's talking shit. What a fucking epic moment to be involved in, dude.
Oh, dude, it was like a movie, and it's crazy. That's like...
Fuck you. Because now I had to come back, dude. That's the whole I said, I got to see if I can get one of these moments, man.
I've been waiting on you to return to Nitro forever. You're so good.
You did what it's all about, man. You made a fucking real moment out there. What a fucking spectacular moment. But I guess what I was going to say, building all that up, was nobody on this fucking planet can have a moment like that and not want to go pro immediately.
Absolutely.
But now that you're 5 months past that, 4 months, how long's that been?
No,
3 months?
No, a month and a half or 2.
Was it? It seems like
it was
long
December
ago.
1st, so it's been like 6 weeks.
Okay.
It's been like 6 weeks.
It seems so much longer.
It does.
Well,
It
it's
feels
been
like
2 months if it
yeah.
was December 1st.
But yeah, it feels like, I mean, time just kind of, it drags on, but it goes by so fast.
But you still feel... You still feel like you want to...
Yeah, dude, and I haven't even really been training. I've been in school and been working and all this, being a dad. So, like, I've been trying to straighten some stuff out, but...
Well, and that at least now you know. It wasn't like someone came up to you and got you real quick while you were super hype on a win to make a big decision to switch over pro. You know, now you've waited 2 months.
Yeah.
and you still want to do it.
Yeah,
And that's
I'm
amazing.
ready. I'm so ready to go pro, and I'm so ready to go hard. So like that's why I'm just getting everything ready, and I'm ready to get after it. But
What's your plan?
what do you mean?
Like if you had to give me a timeline, even like down to the training, do you have it all in your head to where you know which days you want to be training certain stuff? Are you wanting to get completely structured?
I am, yeah. No, that's something that's gonna come with time, though. I'll be able to add more and more as I go, because like right now, I still have to work a full-time job, obviously, until
As most people
yeah,
do, pro
no, for
fighters
sure.
do, yeah.
So no, that's why I'm going to school for EMS and fire. That way, I can have a pretty stable job that pays well, do something that I'm very interested in, helping people, alongside the homies, and I just hope that I'm basically working for the opportunity to set up everything so that way I can train when I want and fight when I want and do what I want. I need to take care of some stuff. I got some responsibilities as a dad right now, and that's what I need to do.
Right. But in your head, as someone who wants to go pro, that's never a decision that's going to be made lightly, and you're not bullshitting anyone. Anyone could look you up, and I'm sure you come up on SureDog, like the amount of amateur boxing fights you've been training since you're a kid. Like, you're the type of guy that has to make this decision, and an adult decision is I want to go pro, which is some serious stuff.
Yeah.
So you obviously want to try to make a run.
Yeah,
so in your head, I want to know, like, if you the whole structure thing was just another question I had, but do you have any idea at the moment, like, hey, I want to set aside 48 months and I'm going to try to do it in 48 months? And because I mean, dude, you're a smart fucking guy, and I know you're not going into anything without a plan.
No, and so no, I do not put a time frame on myself, because that is one thing that I have a problem with, is worrying about time, and that's just how I am. But I try not to put a time frame on myself. More or less, my plan is I want to fight in May. I want to fight. I want to have at least 2 fights by the end of the year, because I know it's going to take some time. I got some physical therapy and some MRIs I got to get done and all that. But anyways, I would like to have 2 fights by the end of the year, be 2-0, and then I'd like to, by the end of next year, be 6 or 7-0, and hopefully like a local regional champ, maybe a belt or something. And I'm not saying that's easy, but that's why I'm just focusing on everything, straightening everything out right now. You know how hard it is to train for, I mean, an amateur fight, but a professional fight is something, it's a different dog. I'm going to have to step up my game. I can't just go show up and beat up a local amateur on 3 weeks' notice. Right. Like, I can't just go do that.
Totally different
scenario. Absolutely. I mean, shoot, 2 rounds as a pro is longer than 3 rounds as an amateur. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just show up and, what's up, dude? Let's get it, because I'm not trying to lose. That's not who I am. So, anyways, yeah.
So definitely champion regional circuit, then a maybe contender series call. Would you like that?
Yeah, I would. My dream locally is to win like the FAC belt. I'm from Independence. That should be my belt eventually.
Fuck yeah.
My dream is to see my face on their billboard for a main event. So.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Especially pro main event.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be epic, dude.
Yeah.
And you've built such a good relationship with them coming in and then taking out their fighter, and then I guess, everything was mutual when you left, right?
A couple of them
went down.
But one of them got me, so
shout
out Isaac.
Hey, he's in the UFC now.
Yeah, shout out Isaac Bulgarian.
So
the Midwest chopper.
Anyways. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. What about sponsorships? Because I know you used to have some. How do you have anything going where you want to work something out, or do you have any connections still? Because that's huge when you're transitioning to pro, to be able to take extra time off work and know you have some stability from sponsorships and things.
Right. Yeah, so that's like something that like I've always, with sponsorships, I've treated it like a partnership. Whenever I approach people, or if people have approached me, I tell them, hey, let's partnership. And I try to do my best to meet their needs, and then they meet mine. And usually I don't even ask for anything. If they ask me, I will send them like maybe something that I need, or the price or whatever. But typically it's mostly they just like hook me up with some free stuff, whether that's like gear, like gloves, shin guards, mouthpiece, whatever. Egg Weights is a dope company that hooked me up a long time ago. The guy hooked me up when he was just starting out, and then now his company's blown up. It's taking off, and for good reason. The shit's dope. They're little hand weights that wrap around your finger, and they're for shadow boxing, and they make your hands faster. They're so badass. But like another company, Submission Shark, they've hooked me up with some dope jiu-jitsu apparel, rash guards or whatever. I got some pretty badass sweaters that I wear all the time. Stuff like that. Trident Fight Gear is another one. Like,
So you don't have to say, but so you, as far as like on amateur, can you accept money from them, or does it always have to be gifts like that?
For sure. No, this ain't the NCAA. Yeah,
you can get money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
So
illegal.
My paid partnership was the main one was with the Overwatch Collective, which is a non-for-profit organization that what they do. First responders that are in need of mental help, they help those men and women seek help either anonymously, because sometimes if you are a cop or a firefighter, I guess you guys might have a better idea as a firefighter, but at least as a cop, I guess it can be hard to want to reach out for help because your buddies might think you're weak or whatever. And I feel like generally we're not going to have as men like that stipulation because now we're pretty aware of men's mental health, but and I hope nobody does have that because I've been there and it sucks to feel like that, feel helpless and shit. And anyways, so what they do is they help these people reach out to a third party for help anonymously, and they pay for it or whatever. And it's just a super badass program. One of the startup founders of it is a guy I served with in the Marine Corps. He's in my platoon. He's one of my squad leaders. Great guy. And now there's some other people and things involved, but the organization has really grown, and it's been like beautiful to see that.
That's nice. And you're saying those people, I mean, they gave some type of cash to advertise themselves?
Yeah, so what they did is they knew that I had a pretty decent following with people of a similar interest, veterans, first responders, and most of the people that are my friends, I feel like, share a similar belief about that type of thing. And so they wanted to help me out on my journey because not only am I a veteran, but I'm in school to become a first responder, and I'm pretty actively like share and am open about my mental health and try to like boost other people's mental health, or I'm just like pro mental health, like positive mental health. And so what they did is to market their company, their organization. Yes, they paid me to market that, and which basically helped out on my journey, and then I helped them out on their journey.
Right, and they got an advertisement out of you.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand the market, if I'm being quite honest.
Right.
I don't have to, because I know that on the cage and on everybody's shorts, there's a fucking giant dynamic fastener. Fucking,
Right.
And I don't get it. I don't know who's looking at fucking this amateur fighter's ass and being like, I really need to go see what this dynamic fastener's all about. I don't get it, but I see him every fight card. That's not the UFC. Every regional, they have the fucking canvas, the cage plastered, and people who are local pro and amateur fighters, they always have their fucking shorts plastered. So there's some type of fucking market for it. I don't know what it is. I don't get it, but that's cool. I wasn't sure what the rules are, because I know under the state you can't accept money for an amateur fight, which a lot of people don't know. A lot of people come up to me,
did you
dude.
just incriminate me? No, it was
No, amateur, like as far as a purse from a
right. No,
yeah.
I'm just playing.
So yeah, that's cool that you can take donations. I mean, that's a huge thing in the UFC that they're pissed about, is that they got rid of all the advertisements. So now these guys are fighting for 20 and 20,000 when Monster might have given them. Well, they can still do Monster, but they're really particular. But
Like
Adidas might
whatever,
have gave them $100,000 to wear that.
Yeah, dude, that's like the cool thing about Bellator is if you can get some badass sponsors or one or whatever. If
You mean
get
the Professional Fighters League?
Yeah, the Professional Fighters League. My bad, excuse me. But yeah, no, that's like a super sick thing about that, bro. So like, if you can get on there and get some badass sponsors, you have a very possible likelihood of making way more money than you would in the UFC. And
if you have just a couple $100,000 and you are somewhat smart with that, and you take your career serious and you only have 5 or 6 fights, instead of being fucked financially because you only made $20,000 per fight and you owe 32,000 or 32% for taxes, or you're in fucking New York and you owe 42% taxes, And then you got to pay your coaches and your trainers. Like, now that's all your money is that fight money.
Yeah.
And so any extra income you could have, the UFC's stealing that out of your fucking pocket. And that's why you see all these guys doing podcasts, you know, and good for them. A lot of them have worked out. It has worked out for them, and they're doing podcasts,
Right.
and that's awesome. But
yeah, no, you definitely have to chase like other avenues of financial gain. And man, I heard it when I was like a little boy, and I've never forgot it. And Dana White said one time that fighting is not a career, it's an opportunity, and I've never forgot it. So,
and what sucks to say is, like, I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm not on Instagram because it's a waste of time. Unfortunately, I was listening to some TikTok that came by. It wasn't anybody important, but what he said made sense. He was saying, like, unfortunately, it's nice to have some influence because everybody looks at social media now, and you have some influence, whether it could be in a job or a relationship, you know, like
right.
you have influence when you have a
Yeah.
good social media and a good social media following, whether it's small or large, you know, especially if people are interacting, you have influence.
Yeah.
And influence is important in everything. So really, at the end of the day, social media is not really wasting that much time, as people want to say, if you use it
correctly
to have a good influence. You
Yeah.
know, if you're fucking promoting positive shit, you know, and then somebody sees that might affect them.
Right.
And then you're
absolutely.
technically doing a good thing, even if it's just one person.
Dude.
So
The crazy thing that this might be a little off topic, but the crazy thing that you're bringing up about influence is that what I wanted to talk about with you was about these like conversations. I run into these people every so often, and I just have these crazy conversations, and they're people from like all walks of life, and it's so nuts. Like they're the deepest conversations, and they'll be about whatever. So like for instance, I have like shout out Landon. Landon and I will just like sit down and we'll be chilling, and we'll start talking about history, and we'll just go for like as long as possible, and we'll just be talking about different things about history just because that's his passion. But then like my friend Collis is just like one of the better humans of the world, and he's like a super kind person, but he knows a lot about fitness. So like me and him, we could talk about problems in the world, or you know, like the heart, how we're feeling, whatever. Or we could talk about fitness for like ever, and it's crazy. It's just like a super addicting thing. And then, you know, there's just other people out there that I've met, and I keep having these crazy deep conversations, and I'm like, man, I wish I could get all of these people in a room and talk to them. And I feel like it would solve all the world's problems. It's so funny. I was just thinking about that, and you kept saying influence, and it made me think about that, and it's crazy that.
yeah, I mean that's what Rogan always says. You
Right.
know, not to quote him, our father of podcasts, but you know he said it every time. He's like, you know, if you just gave the entire world a bag of mushrooms each, like we could probably fix a lot of our problems
Right,
pretty
dude.
quick. But that because people would talk.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
and that's.
And you sit down and you just think about shit, man, and it's crazy. And
I've had people I've disagreed with, like, completely was like, man, I don't agree with anything you're saying. And then yet 5 minutes later, we can be having a hysterical, like, gut-busting, like, holding your belly laugh. You know, like, you think you're going to die from laughing so hard.
Right.
Like, you really don't care what people are saying. It's
No.
all about human connection.
no, absolutely. And I mean, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people don't have like. I feel like you should just open your mind to just listening to what somebody else has to say before you are going to criticize them or be mean about them. And like, I mean, I have my own thoughts. I make my own jokes. I make my own fucking smart ass comments or talk shit in my head about people. But like, just take the time of day to slow down, not be a fucking asshole to somebody, and be kind, because like you really don't know what somebody else is going through that day. And I don't even mean that they're suicidal or depressed or whatever, but maybe they're just having a bad day, and that's why they were rude to you in the moment. That doesn't mean you need to let it ruin your day. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill out, let them fucking blow off some steam, and then maybe they'll have a good day, and you can keep having a good day. I don't see the need to like.
I think you're
shit.
right, generally speaking. Like, I get into this fight all the time where I go to restaurants, and if I'm like, you know, I'll take the cheeseburger, you know, and they bring me out a piece of pizza,
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I always end up giving them 20+% tip.
Yeah, I do too.
And I just don't have the heart in me to even treat those people poorly. And when I see people that get so upset because their order was fucking wrong and they don't know how to just be like, hey, I had the cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You know, instead they're like, hey, how's this going to get fixed? What discount am I going to get?
Yeah, can I get this for free?
Yeah, that's the type of I don't know, influence. Good word for the day. That's the kind of influence I fucking hate. But I don't know, man. I go back and forth because I think of a lot of people who are really successful, and I think you got to be a good asshole at times. Otherwise, people will just take from you, you know. And you got to be good at being an asshole and flipping that switch, because if you're not going to be able to protect what's yours, and you're not going to be able to, you know, people will argue and say you can be nice to everyone, but sometimes you got to use your instinct too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, fuck this person. I'm not getting involved in this. You know, and telling people, not sometimes giving people the time of day is nothing but stealing your day. Yeah. And sometimes if they don't have it in their head that they're trying to steal your day, it's okay to listen to them. If there's some nice guy that your instincts are like, man, this guy probably has no one to talk to at home, and he wants to ask you about the fucking weather. Like, just give him a sentence and move on with your day. But I think it's okay to disrupt and fucking, and you know, and get against people who are trying to steal your time. Dude, because there are people who will just give you nonsense. And
yeah, they just want to fuck around. Like,
yeah.
So, like, a perfect example of a good example is the other day I had my daughter at gymnastics, and it was, like, my first time taking her, and I was really excited and wanted to watch. And I get this fucking phone call, and I have a new phone, so I don't know whose number it is. And I'm like, I got to answer it. Man, damn it. So I answer it, and it's like, I can already tell it's this, you know, Hispanic woman, and she's crying. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I find out that it's one of my friend's mom, and she's her son is in prison, and I've known him. I served with him in the Marine Corps or whatever, and so they're going through a tough time. And so I'm like, man, she just was calling to vent because she can't find her son in the system. They moved him in the different prison system, blah blah blah. And she, you know, she just didn't know what to do. His dad's in bad health, so she's just venting. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what she told me. She's like, I'm so sorry, I don't know who to talk to. And it was like a horrible time because I was just trying to focus on my daughter and all that. But it was like, it was a good moment for me to be like, you know what, Blakely's cool. She's in there having fun, doing gymnastics. It's fine. I'll just focus on this conversation until it's over, and then, you know, then I let it go. And it didn't really take me that long. It was like a 8-minute call. But that was just a good example.
Even though you missed out on something pretty important for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, I don't know, you know? What do you do? I can tell you an opposite story. There's a guy at the fucking gym that I go to, and he sits in the sauna every day and gives lifting advice.
Was it Brett? No, I'm just
Meanwhile, this guy is approaching 500 if he's not, and he claims that
years old.
No.
Oh.
About 225 kilos.
Wow.
And claims that he used to be a bodybuilder, and screams at the top of his lungs. So, you know, every time I go into the sauna, I got to listen to this fucking guy. And he sounds just like this. He'll be like, yeah, back in my day, I was benching 225 300 times. And he'll go on and on. And now that's a guy that wastes your day. That's a guy, if you have some balls, it would be productive of you, of society, to be the guy to be like, yo, shut up.
See, bro,
never
I'm
speak
the guy
again.
That's like, I'll like nod with him and be like, yeah, hell yeah, bro, that's tight.
And I do it every time. Every time I go, yeah, man. And then he'll be like, these people here, these fucking new kids, they're piece of shit with the colored hair. They ain't got no work ethic. And you know what? Every fucking time I go, yeah, man, I know. Because I don't have the balls, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing if you got the balls to be like, dude, shut up. I would totally think that's an okay response for a good human being to have. And I wouldn't be like, no, that guy's not a dick. He's fucking eliminating a problem for the rest of humanity, because guys like us, we just don't have it in us.
Yeah,
you know?
Nice guys finish last.
Ah, man.
Bro, I have this chick in my class. So, like you were saying, I have this chick in my class who's like, she's failed the class twice. So this is her third time taking it. And she's like the teacher's pet. Like, she tries to do everything. It's always like whatever. Every time the teacher walks in, she's like, a 10, huh? It's so funny. She's that person. And anyway, so she like we'll go do our labs and we'll start like practicing CPR or whatever, and she'll hover over and she's like and I'm like, dude, the other day I did get a little snappy because I'm 28 years old and you're an 18-year-old who's failed this class 3 times or whatever. Like, you're going to tell me what to do. No, I'll figure it out on my own before I listen to you. No offense. But, I mean, still, back the fuck up. And that's basically what I was like, dude, I got it. Chill. And that's like as mean as I get to somebody, and she backed up, but I feel like that was enough. But like it made me feel bad because I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have been a dick. But
yeah.
But she's literally in my ear like, and I'm like, bro, back the fuck up.
Oh man. You know, that's one thing that's interesting about EMT basic class. A lot of people don't know that the people responsible for driving the ambulance and assisting the paramedic in the back, they just go to basically an adult education class for 6 months, and then they're expected to do a bunch of more stuff that they have to basically learn on the fly.
And they call it basic life saving, but it's all pretty like.
If you're
saving a life, it's advanced.
If any major city, if you're being an EMT at any major city in EMT basic, you're doing advanced stuff because you have to be able to assist your paramedic in getting drugs and things like that, and knowing what types of advanced life support interventions he's going to do. You got to be one step ahead of him. But
yeah, we have.
I was gonna
on the mic.
I was gonna say, you know, it's funny because I don't think a lot of people, like when I went to Blue River, I was just in there with like a bunch of 18-year-olds that needed an extra credit.
Yeah.
And then I was in there with like people like me who kind of were like, what am I going to do with my life? Let me just see if this is cool. And then I'm in there with like middle-aged people who are having a midlife fucking crisis, and we're all coming to this 5 p.m. class 3 nights a week. And it's a diverse group of people in emergency medicine. Yeah. It's not very structured, and you meet a lot of bizarre but cool people.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like,
been a blast so far for sure.
We know a guy, and I know a guy, shout out to my buddy Kelly, who he still does HVAC, but he just up and decided to be an EMT basic one day, and now he's a Kansas City firefighter paramedic.
That's badass.
You know, and still has his HVAC business, but he just came to the class, I think, because he was getting kind of bored at his job. It's cool, man. It's a diverse group of people you get in those classes, the adult education classes.
Yeah, I'm excited for it either way. It's definitely been a blast so far, and
do you think
I just like learning?
Do you think you'll like or dislike the portions that kind of are military or paramilitary-ish? Like, do you enjoy the paramilitary aspect to things? You won't get it everywhere. Every department's different. Every operation is different. Fire departments generally run more paramilitary than like just straight EMS divisions. They're pretty laid back. But I didn't know. Do you care for that system? Do you like that
I wouldn't
order?
say that I'm like all about it, because like it is annoying when another grown adult walks into a room and everybody's like, and we're all like. Like, it's kind of goofy, especially in a class. But maybe I'm the only one of those. And see, this is where I see that the purpose.
Do they do that in your class now? In the EMS basic class, they have you guys stand at attention.
Academy, all that.
Like, I can see the fire academy. It's quite a bit more.
EMS basic or whatever the fuck class it is. Yeah, bro.
You guys stand at attention when they walk in?
Yeah, it's hilarious. And we have to call them Instructor Belfi. And all that, like, if any of the teachers are walking down the hallway, we're supposed to like get up on the wall.
On the wall, maybe that was the rule when I went.
I don't know.
I just might have forgot.
I don't know. It's just goofy to me because I've been in the military, so you know I do see the need for it. Whenever you have a lot of 17, 18, 19-year-old kids coming in that need some structure, okay, I get it. But it's just so that part I don't. But I like the ranking structure and you know the brotherhood or the camaraderie, I should say, because there are men and women. I like the fact that I'll have a partner like in the truck or whatever. Like I think stuff like that's cool, and the paramilitary aspect as well. I do like that.
It's definitely much. I've worked at quite a few places, and I think that it's, you know, I don't think, you know, and I hate to be this guy because it's nice. I think it's better. Let me put it this before I say what I want to say. I think it's better if you have large groups of people and you're trying to train them on certifications that theoretically, if government money wasn't a problem and people's financial situations weren't a problem and the pay rates were appropriate for like police and fire and EMS, those would probably be like degrees.
Yeah.
You know, but they're not, and so like you have to kind of instill a quick onset of like, hey, this is serious shit. Even though you're going to school for 2 weeks and then we're giving you a gun, this is pretty serious, man, and we gotta tell you that and get that instilled in you pretty quick.
Right.
So I mean, for that situation, it's cool. I personally, you know, and I hate to be a piece of shit, I've always been annoyed at that system outside of group settings, just for fun. I know, like our producer and I, we, you know, it was fun to play that game. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir. But as soon as I was out of the academy, the first person that thought that's still how that was going to go, it was kind of a rude awakening, because it's like, do you be a douchebag, or do you play along with this middle-aged man who thinks that I'm going to call him, you know, like FAO Johnson. It's not a real name. But, you know, like, I mean, I can see the benefits of it, but for me, I'm glad that in the real world, it kind of gets dismissed pretty quick.
I don't need that. I'm going to show up and do my job. I don't need you to, you know, try to haze me or try to fucking, like, I believe that you have earned your title, your billet, or whatever, your rank, your billet, but, like, dude, come on. This is the civilian world.
Generally speaking, too, I haven't had many people do that. Usually what my rule of thumb is, like, I would be like, hey, Captain Vaughn, how's it going today? And if that person's not a huge piece of shit, they'll be like, hey, my name's Ben.
Okay.
You know, and you'd be like, okay, you know, and then you still be like, hey, Captain John.
Yeah.
And then after you do it like 7 times, they'll be like, I'm not going to tell you again, my name's John. You know? So that's one thing that I'll do. Like, I'll give them the respect, but, like, there's some people you can immediately tell you're like, oh, man, this guy is tripping for some power right now.
Okay, yeah, that's how it is.
And you can catch a vibe. But I'll be honest, where I work, you know, it seems pretty laid back. I've run into a lot of good people that don't trip on that. Yeah, it's more so like if you do your job, you're respected, and it's that. That's
absolutely,
the
and that's all
story.
I'm looking for.
I know there's some departments that might be options for you to go do your clinicals at. We won't name them on the air, but I know they're very strict, like tucked in shirts from 9 to 5, like no napping at all. You know, you got to do all the chores first. You know, even if you've been on overtime, they have a very, very cemented structure. And kind of, you know, I'm not saying one way's right or another. I just think that one way is tougher, and it's a job that already.
That's the part I struggled with in the Marine Corps, for sure. I won't lie. I was really good at the infantry and the grunt and doing all the blowing up shit, but the physical aspect. But man, like the making, just like the little shit, like cleaning your fucking room every day. Like if it's spotless, you know, if it's clean, it's clean. Like I'm not gonna go wipe down the walls for that purpose. But that's another thing that like it's necessary for the ones who don't know how to clean. You know, like who don't keep themselves
and it kind of is. There's some people that unfortunately have ruined it for the rest of the people that do their job.
Yeah, and we would get taught how to clean, and then they still wouldn't know how to clean. So it's just like, it's stupid. But that's how people are. Whatever. This is how it is, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited that you're interested in doing that and that you're coming along, and maybe you'll really like it, and maybe you'll make a career out of it.
Absolutely. You know? I wanted to ask you, maybe like run me through like a pretty crazy call. Like what's your most memorable call, or like what was your first day on the job like, or your first big call maybe? Let's do that one. What was your first big call?
Man, my first big call?
Like a shooting maybe, or like a stabbing, something badass that, sorry, I hope you didn't die, but maybe you did. Rest in peace.
Dude, I ran a crazy call at a local volunteer fire station. That was the first call that made me like, it had that, you know, when you would
the one I'm at, like,
yeah, we're not gonna say it out loud, just in case. I don't even think there's a big deal. We can say all these names, but just for shits and grins, we just won't say it. But
we're not.
There's a local volunteer fire department around here that's they're really institutional. Like everything about them I really respect, and the chief there is just an amazing guy. He's improved their ISO rating. That chief is a great guy, and he's done a lot for that department. But it's cool to see how many people have cycled through there and done their part. Yeah. You know, like they volunteer. I did my part, you know, and you'll meet a lot of people who got their start there.
Yeah. I didn't know that you went there until you just said that today. I just went there because you told me to, and I was like, that, because I just wanted to volunteer. But that's super cool. It's like I'm following your footsteps. That's just cool. That's just pretty tight, bro.
There you
like,
go.
I'm honored
Follow
to be
the
there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm glad you're there, man.
And the giant backdraft poster on the wall. Is
Yeah. It's a little cringe, huh?
Yeah.
You'll learn a lot though, and like I said, it's very difficult to get that type of experience unless you want to donate some time.
Right.
You know, and luckily you're at a time where if you do get your license, there's lots of jobs now. There wasn't lots of jobs for those 6-month licensures back when I was started doing this.
Yeah.
You know, because there's only one ambulance service here that's separate of fire, so you either got a fire job or you didn't work as an EMT.
Yeah.
So that's cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, buddy, I got a fight coming up this weekend.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Are you going to come to the fight?
I'm gonna be there.
You are going to be there?
I am gonna be there.
Good.
I'm excited to be there and watch you perform. I think that. Well, how are you feeling? Like your cardio's feeling good?
My cardio is really, really good right
Nice.
now. Yeah. I'm still a little bit over on the weight, but that's okay. I think it's all water. It's going to get sucked out on Friday.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited. I hate that you came back against Richie and had that epic showdown because then it sparked a fire. And then I couldn't pull out. I had to keep going.
No, you got this, bro.
It'll be okay. It's going to be my last one ever.
You say that. You told me one and done, and I was begging you to come back for the longest. And
2 and done.
2 and done.
Cool.
Maybe. But
Hopefully,
2-0.
hopefully
2-0.
we can crush a beer or something after the fight
Yeah,
because
that
it's
sounds good.
been a minute, dude.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that sounds exciting. I'm really looking forward to this because you're definitely obviously the toughest opponent he's had, and he's a step up from your last one. But
Huge.
what
No
do you think?
disrespect.
Do you think he's gonna bring anything new that we haven't seen in his fights previous?
No, but I don't think he's gonna be any worse.
Do you think
I think he's
even ready? Do you think he's taking it seriously?
I don't
as
give a
you have?
fuck. I'm gonna train. I'm going in as he's prepared as hard as he possibly could have.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not gonna take a risk that I'm gonna even get it in my head that I'm gonna be able to be lackadaisical at all.
And I've heard you've been grinding.
So
That's what I've heard.
yeah, I mean, like we even had a pretty hard session today. So tomorrow I'll take it real easy. But yeah, no, I feel really good. I feel like I did everything that I could have done. Honestly, I mean, I had a lot of problems in this camp, as cringy it is to say. Like I had a surgery where I had a cyst removed on my forehead, and so
fuck,
that
the
kept
scar
getting
here.
infected. Yeah, and so I had to keep treating that, and like wrestling was a huge pain in the ass because if you want to, especially with like our wrestling coaches, shout out to the Hernandezes, like they're not going to let you sit there with your head out of the pocket, not doing the technique right. They're going to make you use your head and get head position, and a lot of that involves the forehead.
Absolutely.
So there was a lot of days I went home and I had like a huge pus coming out the end of the scar, and that kind of worried
That's
me.
hot.
I banged my legs up pretty bad trying to relearn, like kicking spots.
Yeah.
Because it had been so long since I'd actually trained MMA before this.
Yeah. So, are you worried about it busting open? Like if you?
No, not anymore. It's
Okay.
fine. There's the incision is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I was more worried about making sure I didn't get staph before I got it healed back up.
Yeah.
That was my biggest concern.
Richie Dunfield says he lost our fight because he got staph on his face
Wow.
3 weeks before the fight, and I'm like, buddy, I haven't trained in the last year and a half. Anyways.
Yeah, that seems pretty fair to me.
Yeah, bro. Well,
You can either train for a month and a half or get staffed 3 weeks out.
and bro, if you knew you had staph 3 weeks ago, like, why would you even fight me? You fucking gross bitch. Take a bath. Anyways, whatever. Anyway, so what's up with Dariush's striking? You think you got him on the feet? You think
I'm
you're too
gonna.
lengthy
I don't want to
from
give
him?
away the whole plan, but
Okay.
I mean, I guess we probably won't put this out till after Saturday, huh? I think I'm gonna try to feel it out for the whole entire first round.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm feeling
let's
pretty
save
good about it.
Let's drop it like Sunday or Monday or whatever.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to feel it out for an entire round and hopefully keep it standing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for everybody that's watching, we recorded this on Wednesday, February 7th. So he's gonna for round 1, he's gonna feel it out and try to keep it standing.
And if I get pretty tuned up, then I'm gonna have to like change game plans and just wrestle fuck for 2 rounds. I won't have a choice then, and I'll have to use the wrestling. But
for sure. Your
I feel
time
like
fire, so.
I think it's gonna be. Honestly, I think it's gonna be. Okay. I really think that we're gonna be trading a little bit, but I think I'm gonna get it on him pretty quickly to the point where maybe he tires and I actually have him on the back pedal. And I don't think I'm gonna hit him with anything very hard, but I think I'm gonna hit him a lot, like especially to the body with jabs, low kick, jab, low kick. And my game plan too, since we're putting this out after, is like I'm really not gonna commit to much on the shots.
No way.
I'm just gonna kind of slap him, and I'll know immediately if I'm gonna get to him or not.
Yeah.
And so then I'll know if I need
the best way to secure a takedown is on the fence, bro.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I've been having trouble getting people down against the wall, so that makes me a
Really?
little nervous too. I thought it was gonna be easier.
Okay.
But out in the open.
Oh damn, man! I wish we.
But we'll see. I think I
Anyways.
can keep it. My plan is if I get him on the fence to not let him off the fence.
Yeah.
Even if I don't
You're
commit.
striking as well. I think you and you're smart enough. Like this is only your second fight, but like you are very. For those of you who don't know, he's a very technical fighter. He whoops my ass all the time. Anyways,
It's not true.
I just cut the ring off. Cut him off. Don't let him off the fence. You can clinch grapple there and set up, strikes to set up knees to the body, hold him down with an underhook on post on his head, bang, bang, uppercuts, whatever. So you have very crisp striking. Anyways, I don't even think you guys are gonna bang. I think he's gonna try to come out with some wild shit, and you're gonna be way too technical for him.
I think he's so technical. I don't think wild shit's in his wheelhouse.
You
But I
are
think the way
technical.
he fights and the pace he fights is not the way you want to fight me. The
Yeah.
only way to win is to just bulldog. I really believe that, dude. I think if you sit on the outside and you try to pick me apart, that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be his ultimate downfall.
Yeah, I'm a pretty good counterpuncher, but every time I go with you, I can't. I have to like.
He needs
have to
to
come
he
get
needs to
you,
be
so-
coming forward the whole time. And
Yeah.
anytime he's going backwards, I see me ahead.
Yeah.
Is honestly where I've come down to the conclusion. Like I think it's going to be tough, man. Like I don't think I can go out there and get tired. Like it's going to, and especially middle of the second when I'm like, oh fuck, I just had that adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, man.
Dude,
but I
that
think
shit
if I stick to
sucks.
my game plan, just keeping him going backwards, even if I'm not landing very hard, I can't overcommit because, dude, he throws hands and he throws combos and he throws them really well, man. And he's got something that a lot of people don't have, especially me, is like mine's gotten tremendously better over the last 3 months, but some people just have the natural ability to keep their eyes open when they're striking, and he has that,
Yeah.
and you have that, and like that's what
That's why
most
I'm
that's what
like,
most
I'm pretty
great
good
fighters have, and that's what keeps them from winging punches and looking stupid is because they're not
still do it.
closing their eyes.
I still do it, but
So he has that, and that's, I think, his number one advantage. Like, I think the fact that he's had 5 years off, I've had 4, evens out the experience
yeah.
of him having 7 fights. But I think his ability to keep his eyes open in the pocket
So-
is what I have to look out for, and I have to be that good. I have to also keep my eyes open, or it's not going to be a good night. And I know that coming in. So
Every time he jabs, slip, 4-3-2, pop, pop, bang.
and we got to look for Rudy and Heath to play me like a computer in the corner.
For sure.
22 laser, 442, 4.
Hey,
Okay, Basil Rutten here.
I always hear the glory coaches, low rider, and it's like a 1-2 back leg to the calf kick, and it's so funny. Every fight I hear low rider, like we don't know what it means. Like it just means there's a calf kick coming, and you just check it. It's so funny. Like I got no beef with them. I'm just saying that shit's funny. But,
Having nicknames is so badass,
Rad,
dude.
dude,
I
like,
don't give a fuck.
one
It's
time
so
I cornered
badass.
Chris Campbell, and we had combos, and I was like calling him like shotgun, AK. That shit was funny as hell.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
You got to be in phenomenal training and sequence, though, to remember that. Because when you get tired and then someone says AK and you're like,
what was it?
oh,
Like,
yeah.
while you're punching,
They're
you're like,
getting like knocked the fuck out.
yeah, you're like thinking about some other shit. Yeah. it
Hey,
was
look,
funny.
I just want this. Since we put everything else on fucking camera, if I lose, just know I'm happy with it. I don't plan on fucking losing.
You're gonna go out,
and I
with a
haven't
fucking
accepted
shield, baby.
anything, but
Let's go.
I've come to the conclusion that I needed to stop this fun that I'm having. I'll always do jiu-jitsu, but it was time to close the MMA chapter. I got kind of old of people being like, "Are you gonna fight again?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I'm 29 and I've had one amateur fight. No, I'm not fighting again."
Yeah.
So this is it, and I'm okay with that, man. And I just hope, dude. I'll tell you what, man. To show a little vulnerability, what kind of sucks though is I hope that if I do if it goes the distance, even if I lose if I lose a bad fight and I'm getting pieced up for 3 rounds, I just hope that like the casuals know enough to know how good this guy was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all, man. And I know that's everybody who has a fight. They're like those close, immediate friends and family. In their head, they'll be like, "Oh no, you did great."
Yeah.
But in their head, they're like, "Man, that kid sucks."
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
worst.
I know people are like, "Oh, dude, if he's lucky he didn't get in there with that guy would have fucked him up."
Yeah. Bro.
And those are the worst because people are saying that, and you got to be able to just be like, they don't really know the situation though. There's so many other aspects.
It's such a tough thing for me, like that, or I don't know, just being judged by people, or even thinking that like I don't want your fucking pity. I do this for me. I hate even feeling like that, because that is how I feel sometimes. Like I hate hearing, "Hey, good job, you were so great," after a loss. I'm like, yeah, it was great right up until I fucking lost. What? Or if I lose, it's because generally it's not because I didn't do enough. It's because I didn't know enough. That's why I lose. You'll never catch me in there losing because I didn't swing for the fences or fight hard enough. It's just because I made a mental mistake, or I didn't understand wrestling or jiu-jitsu or striking enough. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not even bothered about losing. The only thing that bothers me about it is, I want to get that fucking win back. I know I can beat you. I just need the time and the training, and I'm willing to do it. But
yeah.
So that shit, I agree, bro. The pity, whenever people give me pity and shit,
I
I'm
hate
just
it.
like, stop.
It's because I don't want to have the conversation that I know that I wasn't that good that day.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I'm okay with that, but I also am not okay with you thinking that that's who I am.
Yeah.
I know I've done better than that.
Yeah.
And I've come to I'm okay with no matter what the outcome is. I know for a fact that I'm gonna fight as hard as I possibly can, and that's all there is to it. But it sucks because you always know that there's those casual people out there who you invited who paid good money to see you fight, and they might never understand it.
Yeah.
Ever.
For sure.
Unless you get the win, they're gonna remember it as he just wasn't that good.
But
we saw our buddy fight. It was cool. You know how it is.
Man,
your friend's mom's sister who came with her, just for the weekend, and
always talks about it.
Yeah, we went and saw a buddy fight. He wasn't that good though. He got knocked out
at the lake. Yeah.
Or maybe
time,
I guess I worry if I have to, because obviously if I get fucked up for the first round and striking's not working out and we have to adapt, and then I have to wrestle fuck this guy to get the win, how many people are gonna be like, that sucked? And I'm okay with it.
Well, that's
but
boring.
I know that sucks because I know in my head that I'm good enough that I'm not gonna get pieced up for 2 more rounds without trying to wrestle.
You're a purple belt, bro. Don't take
I'm
punishment, bro.
I
Take
know,
his ass
exactly.
down, fuck his shit up.
So I'm like, fuck, I hope these people know that I'm willing to make it a boring fight.
No, bro.
I don't give a fuck. I'd rather get the
fans,
dub.
All of your fans, if you take him down, all of your fans are still going to be like, what?
That's true.
Bro,
they don't care as long as the action's going.
I've been throwing hands with every fucking person I've ever fought. With my intent of throwing hands, not taking people down, And then once I started taking people down, I realized, damn, my fans, they like when I wrestle. Yeah, what's up, bitch? We can wrestle. Yeah, I can grapple. So now it's I'm gonna start owning that shit.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna start wearing my fucking blue belt around and shit, bro.
You should. I mean, your grappling is really, really good. It's very loose. It's it's perfect.
I just try. That's a good word to describe it. I've tried to be lazy about it and just let.
But in a good way, once you get on it, you're not gonna let somebody just slide past anything.
Yeah, I feel like I set traps.
Yeah.
I am very loose and fluid because I'm not gonna burn my energy forcing you into a triangle or whatever. Why? I'll literally let you fucking move around. I might fake an armbar just for you to poke your head through a little bit, and then I'll sit you right into a triangle or whatever, bro.
Your style's a little lazy, but it's mine's too. Mine is too. That's what I do jiu-jitsu for, though, because it's really a workout where you can kind of. And I know a lot of coaches hate that, even Brazilian coaches, but I like a little lazy.
Dude, well, I mean, I was heavily influenced by you and Adam, and just your guys' style of jiu-jitsu is kind of sit back a little bit, and I just really learned, picked up that style from you guys, and I really liked it, and it felt like it's fitting for me. But whenever I'm, trying to win, it's more like the Hernandez brothers, And Rudy Bear style, it's go, 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 go from the top. And now that I'm getting good at top pressure, obviously I'm succeeding in the mat, on the mat,
and
competition. Whatever.
And because you adopted that kind of lazy style, you need to be able to go. Yeah. You have to have the cardio to go, and you got to go. But like, if you practice the lazy style enough, most people don't.
Yeah.
And then they never get comfortable, like
being uncomfortable.
And that's huge. And like, I was gonna say, when you adopted that style, that's honestly probably the best for MMA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be able to just survive and catch people's hands and then work your way back. And like the way you can lock people down to where it's just like, fuck, dude, I can't do anything. How's this guy got a hold of me?
If I get a hold of your wrist, I will lock up a Kimura. I might not submit you, but I will lock up that Kimura and I won't let it go till I sweep you.
You just know basic mistakes. You always have 2-on-1 or you always have a grip. And the way that's an amazing style to practice for MMA. Like, you know, to stay out of danger is huge.
Yeah, and I think that's where it started was like again with Adam and Ralph. Whenever we used to do our like little private Three Musketeer sessions or whatever, we would practice like danger positions and stuff, and they're a lot better grapplers than I. And so I just learned really well how to survive. Even going with you or Angel or anybody at the gym, you guys are all much better grapplers than myself. So a lot of times growing up through jiu-jitsu, it's been a lot of survival mode, and now years later, we have new students. My skill has obviously vastly improved. So I have success on, the seniors at the gym as well as the juniors. And in teaching, I've also been able to like learn a lot because like, man, once you teach somebody something, it's like it really solidified it in your brain.
I can't imagine, dude. I went with Curtis yesterday. He's so good now. He's so good now, dude.
He's such a little guy.
He's like so good now, dude. And it has to be from all of the teaching.
Like,
dude,
5 days a week?
He's so sharp.
And he's shredded, too, dude.
Dude, he's so sharp. No, man, I'm telling you, like, in no disrespect, but I used to be able to use my weight and just kind of stay on top. But now I could not move left or right because I was so worried. Every time I moved an inch, he would fucking take an inch.
Really?
And if I moved, he was going to straight arm bar me. He always had control. I literally was tucked like this for fucking 3 minutes, not doing anything, holding on for dear fucking life. Yeah. Every time I moved, I was off balance. He's so good now, dude.
Well, I mean, different level, but how about his sons? I mean,
yeah. Oh God, I know.
Seth just came back as well.
Fuck, and he only pushes the room. He's got fucking strength and cardio, that old school wrestling style.
But yeah, Silas has gotten crazy.
Getting buggy choked by Silas a few months back, dude. The Bissell Nation, it's on fire.
Artist of the century.
Oh
hey,
man,
my boys out here, I love it. That their family is like real tight knit, and they're all helping each other run the business.
Going to Atlanta this fucking weekend to grapple. Dude, do they have the fucking life?
Yeah, it's
the Bissells are the best, dude.
Great.
Oh, man. Shout out Bissell MMA Martial Arts, formerly known as the Cape-Ann Crew.
Yeah.
Great out. Yeah, man. They're a great fit. Zach, too. Shout out to him. Fighting MMA and broke his hand, but he's a great grappler, too.
Champ.
He'll be back soon.
Keegan.
I saw him back training the kids not too long ago.
Yeah, I've been to their gym a couple times in the past couple weeks for jiu-jitsu.
I really wish I would have gone to a night class there to wrap up this, just for,
Yeah. Hey, you still got time. What time is it?
That's true.
Fuck. Yeah, you got an hour.
That's true.
Anyways, yeah.
Well, dude, we got to do this again soon.
Absolutely.
Hopefully after this weekend we'll have a big win for myself, which pray that I get. And then a Super Bowl win. And that would be a great weekend for not only me, but the community.
Yep.
Yeah, a little selfish win for myself, and then let's get a fucking Kansas City Chiefs win.
Yeah. Shout out to my baby boy Vader, Blakely, and Evelyn.
Shout
my
out.
Baby at home, Ryan.
Shout
you guys.
Out. Landon. We'll get you on next time, buddy.
Yeah, we got to get Landon on. He's a psycho.
Yes. Dude, that was fun, man. Thanks.
All right. Love you, brother.
All right, love you, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you. That was fun.
Oh my God.
Stuff.
Woo!
All right. Where's my makeup artist now? Next guest. Get him fucking in here.
Can I get a crumpet?